Good afternoon. I'm here today with my brother on Laptop Live with Kevin Muhammad, the author of a new book. Actually, he has a couple books out. Kevin, tell us about your book. What's the name of it and what's happening?
Okay, well, book one is Psychological War. The subtitle is The Battles of a Young Black Man.
Okay.
All up in the mind what was going on as I was growing up in Compton, California. It was a war zone out there on the outer level, but internally, as a child, man, we was going, me and siblings, or one sibling, and cousins and whatnot, was going through that mental war.
Okay. So are you saying you were involved in some gang things?
Well, I was around. I wasn't a member of the gang, but I spent some time with the gangs out there.
Okay. How did you get involved in it? What drove you to a life of violence and crime?
I have an uncle who's about a year and a half older than me, and I followed him around. He was into the gang culture, selling drugs, and but my interest was chasing girls. But I think we used the drug money to attract girls to us, like renting cars from drug addicts and trying to keep up with the latest shoes, things like that, the hairstyles, and things like that, just to keep these girls interested in us. And I was 14 years old, just a follower of an older uncle who was more like a cousin. Okay.
And what was the first thing, what was the first bit of trouble you got into? What was the first thing that happened to you that made you realize that I don't know if this is for me or not?
I think it was when one of these drug addicts set me up. I had about, on street value, about $180 worth of crack.
$180 worth of crack?
$180 worth of crack.
Oh, Lord, okay.
This guy said, hey, man, I know where you can sell all of that right now. So I went through the neighborhood with him, hit a couple streets, and he goes in his house. Well, no, when we get there, he say, hey, let me take it in there and show it to him, because they know me, and I'll bring you the money. So I'm trusting him. He's an older guy, and he come out and threaten me. Somebody gonna kill me, or they gonna jump me or something if I don't just leave. So I'm like, man, and I'm thinking I'm about to get stabbed or something. It's my instinct. So I said, man, I'd rather just leave this one alone, take off. So
smart decision.
Yeah, with that, I lost interest in selling drugs at that age, but I did take a great interest in stealing cars.
Okay.
Well, that landed me in juvenile hall a couple times.
Wow.
But
as good as you can laugh at it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time.
Good. Okay.
But, I mean, back then, the consequences were not harsh. Like, most of the time, me and my cousin, my main crime partner, Tank, we called him his nickname, we would get arrested, and then our parents would come and pick us up, after getting booked. So it wasn't really a punishment.
Okay.
But one night, we both decided in the jail at the police station that we wanted to go to juvenile hall and see what it was like. So he's on the phone with his mother, and he told her, don't come pick me up. And I called my mom and told her the same thing. Dumb, but we're young and stupid. So once we got in there, and them days started rolling by, and being disciplined by these strangers and all that, and fighting with other teenagers in there over what neighborhood you're from, all this stupid stuff. Like, man, I want to get out.
Right. Well, and so all of this led to the first book.
Yeah, this is my first book covers I want to say from age 9 to 36 years of age.
Wow. Okay. What was the name of the first book?
Psychological War.
Psychological War.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were some of the highlights of the first book?
Well, one of the most shocking aspects of it was at age 22, while I'm serving a 9-year sentence in a California prison for robbing a car salesman.
You say robbing a car salesman?
I robbed a car salesman at gunpoint.
Wow.
And
you need to get on my security team. you like guns? No, I'm just playing with you. I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. You robbed a gun, or one guy at gunpoint. What happened?
Well, 2.5 years into my prison time, a transsexual convinced me to have sex.
Oh my God.
And
that was in the prison?
Yeah, in the prison.
Okay.
And I'm coming from, I was a young guy who, like, I had several girlfriends on the street at the same time, right before I went to jail. And this shock from being with women to not even being able to touch one, you know, the hormones was on fire. So
right.
I told this transsexual no for about 2 months, and then one day she caught me in a mood where my mom said, I said no verbally, but I got an erection, and it was like I started thinking about the pleasure, not the consequence.
Right. Yes, sir.
You know. So
wow.
That's something I want people to key in on. That
well, you don't want to move to Atlanta then.
No, man.
You want to stay far away from Atlanta, brother, because you can't tell a man from a woman in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, hey, I was out there in 2010, so I
oh my God.
And there's some of them out here, you know.
Oh, wow. Well, so okay, that experience, did that? I mean, I'm sure that was humbling. Once you realized what you did, because then you had to question your manhood.
Yeah, it got to the point where I attempted suicide out of guilt, because I was very heavily involved with the Muslim community in that prison, and the sense of betraying them, bringing shame to them as well as myself, it was unbearable. And I called myself going on a fast to cleanse myself from what I had did, and I just pushed myself to the extreme, and I snapped. Became delusional, hallucinating, and that's when the devil was like just having a ball with me. But around that same time, I had been listening to, probably shortly after this suicide attempt, I was listening to Minister Farrakhan, a lecture he had called War Time Against the Mind of Satan. And so, oh man, this is where the idea of psychological war stemmed from that lecture. Okay. So, although temporarily I overcame that issue with experimental homosexuality, over a 12-year span, I would go back and forth into it and out of it, you know, seeking something that was peaceful, permanent. Like if I had an issue in a relationship with a woman that didn't work out, the devil would suggest, and once you try, you know, homosexual, maybe that'll work out this time. You know? Right. It's like what the Quran tells us, Satan makes evil a fair statement to us. You know,
that's right.
No suggestion. So I made some attempts in 95 when it first started, and then I went back into it in 98. After my first marriage failed, and the woman sent me to prison on a lie, so I had to go do 6-month violation because she lied on me. What was the lie? Her lie was she told the authorities in the prison, or she actually told the police, that I went up to her job and threatened to kill her, saying that if I ever caught her with another man, I'd kill her. And I explained, I said, listen, in the first couple months of this marriage, when things were peaceful, she just asked me one night while we were in bed, hey, what would you do if you caught me in bed with another man? My first response was, I'll kill you both. And she said, really? And so I thought about it and said, well, let me see, if I walked in and saw you guys, I would jump on the dude and whoop his ass. And I said, I forgive you, but I would never forget. Right. So she manipulated that into me just walking into her job one day threatening to kill her if I ever caught her with another man. Wow. Okay. Out of context. So they at the hearing in the prison, they listened to what she said and they heard my story and they said, sir, we don't need to believe her version of the story, and we're going to amend the charges from terrorist threat to making an annoying phone call. But you're going to do 6 months for that. I said, wow.
So all this at the same time. So now you're battling with homosexuality.
Yeah, this time with this 6 months additional time that I had to do, I was so upset. And I said, you know what, man, forget this. I'm gonna just be a full-fledged homosexual. And I just went crazy crazy with it in that particular prison over that 6-month course, but there was so many dramatic things that was going on with the people that I was involved with, and I'm like, man, I don't want this. I'm not happy with this. So
let me ask you this: were you considered on the down low, or were you just straight out?
No, because down low is, as far as I understand it, is someone who's secretly involved in homosexuality.
Okay.
But on the forefront, they pretend like they're straight. I wasn't doing that. I made an announcement. I told people, yeah, I'm bisexual, I'm trisexual.
Now, what's trisexual?
Try anything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not up on all that now. you say try. I said, I'm going to say there's a new one out. Because I'm confused. When you're in Atlanta, brother, you confused. Because you see women that like a woman that looks like a man.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to figure out why, if she look like a man, why don't you just want a man?
Right. Because he ain't going to get you pregnant and leave.
Right. So it's a very fine line when it comes to sexuality these days, brother. So I'm so glad that you're open about it, brother, because you don't know how many people you're affecting by this interview. There's probably so many men out there battling right now with their sexuality, especially coming out of prison.
No doubt.
Let me ask you this, because I've interviewed a few guys that were battling with homosexuality, but a lot of them were molested as a child. Were you molested as a child?
No, not that I know of, but I've witnessed some molestation in my, how old was I? It could have been as early as maybe 12 years old. We had a neighbor in Compton, and his name is Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Michael Jackson, he was an older teen, and he asked one of my cousins to perform oral sex on him. I saw Michael dry humping my Uncle Keith, who was my leader, at the time. And then I also witnessed my Uncle Keith dry humping his mother. And so there's some weird things that was going on in my childhood.
Now, when you say dry humping, what does that mean?
Well, there was no penetration, but I mean, when you look at them, it looks like they're having sex.
I got you. Okay. All right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well, now let's get to the meat and potatoes. How did you get out of the homosexuality mentality?
Well, in 2007, there was a 9-year span that I was not involved in that lifestyle at all from 98, until 2007. I tried one more time because I ran into some drag queen I thought was a girl, turned out to be some little Asian dude, and I went ahead and hooked up with him one night, and after that it was like brushing me off, like he never had time for me. I said, man, screw this crap. Every time I make an attempt, it doesn't work. So I went to my ex-wife and I told her what I did with that guy, and then what I had done starting at 22 years of age in prison, which I had never told her about. And she's like, well, why would you not tell me that? So my explanation was, every woman that I have told that to initially said, oh, that's nothing, you're doing what you have to do, but once they got upset with me, they would throw it in my face. Like the first wife.
How many times have you been married?
3 times.
Okay, no, I've been married 3 times too. This is my 3rd, so it's okay. It's okay.
That first one, when we were having this argument at her job, she yelled in front of her coworkers, she's like, you probably want to go back to jail so you can have sex with some punk. And that was I got treated like that by several women who I had told, look, when I was in prison, I got involved in homosexuality and transsexualism and all that. Well, after the last one did that to me, I told myself, you know what, I'm going to stop bringing this up, and it won't be an issue. I won't have to hear it thrown back in my face. And my second wife happened to be the woman that come along at the time where I decided I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. So once I confessed it to her, she said, man, had you told me this when we first started out, I might not have married you. I definitely would not have had a child with you.
Hold that thought. I want to thank you so much for the time you've given us. This is a very powerful interview, bro, and I hope and pray that we can get one in person.
Awesome.
Okay, inshallah, it be God's will, we get one in person and get down there, because we're not finished with this yet, because we're going to help you help other brothers out there, because these women need husbands.
That's right.
You know?
And we haven't even gotten into the second book.
well, we gotta go there in the next interview. So this is part 1 of the series of psychological warfare with Brother Kevin Muhammad. Okay? So we thank you very much for coming on us today on our laptop live interview on the Atlanta Peach. We look forward to seeing you again. And, you know, give a shout out to where we can find your book and everything like that.
Yes, sir. My website is www.kevin6x.com. It's Kevin with the number 6, the letter X.com. And if you go through there, you'll find I have another website where I blog and share current events, things like that. I'll let the people go to my website to find out.